ones for the ladies. Spinebuster, boring. Woo, Colostomizer. Don't hurt me. Here's my wallet.
Hi, diddly ho, shucks in boots.
Flanders? That suit's a little revealing, isn't it?
Well, it allows for maximum mobility. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Quit it! Must wash eyes! Uh-oh. Okay, don't panic. Remember what the instructor said.
If you ever get into trouble, all you need to do is...
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Flanders! Ow, my leg! This is the worst pain ever! Go! Go! Ah! 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 Jingle!
And here we have Duff, Duff Light, and our newest flavor, Duff Dry. What does the future hold for Duff? Let's just say we've got a few ideas up our sleeve.
Like what?
I'd rather not get into it right now.
Why not?
All right. We don't have any ideas for the future. We got nothing. Happy?
No.
Bancroft!
Yo,
What's going on, man? How are you?
feeling pumped.
You're
Ready
struggling.
to-
I know, you're struggling.
What?
Struggling! No? You good? All right. All right.
I'm good. Ready to have another amazing Robin Bancroft. Even though I don't necessarily approve of your clickbait tactics, I would never participate in clickbait on my channel.
But I said it. I said it's like 99% clickbait in my tweet. So does that count? I mean, I gave people fair warning. No, all right. Give me nothing.
I said the other 1% was snails.
God, where do snails come from? They just pop out of the ground, and there's hundreds of them. You ever wondered this, Mike?
The birds and the bees, Rob.
What's up, people? Lethal Divas in the house. Why would CG break up? We'll get into it. It's pretty much not what we're talking about, but I said it, so we'll talk about.
I know exactly what you're going to talk about, and you're going to make people angry because you clickbaited them.
When do I not make people angry? Because of Ethan owning the trademark, I don't think it's going to matter. He has to own the trademark, or there'll be no Comicscape. How's your father's here? Camel Moon's here. I enjoyed his video today, Mike Barbarian. Go check it out. He reviewed possibly the greatest horror movie in decades, I'd say.
Really? You really like it?
No.
Oh.
No.
It sounded like trash.
Dude, it's stupid. But if you turn your brain off, right, and don't think about all the things that sane normal people would do, you can definitely enjoy it.
Mel and I watched a movie like that last night called Uncharted, which is just like, oh my god. It started off okay, and then it just went completely off the rails, and I was like, this is genuinely retarded.
I really want him to review Malignant, because I think he will just fucking lose his shit, and that'll be the funniest thing he's ever done. Eric Garrett's in the house. Good to see you, man. Jolly Green, good to see you. Click the clickbait. Sumo Thori, he's a legend. I don't know if you want me to show that off, Sumo. Let me know in the chat, and I will. Jay Ryan's in the house. I'm sure Rob needed things Bancroft couldn't give. You know what he couldn't give me is the bloody cutouts in time for this stream, Bancroft. I've checked my mailbox about fucking 10 times today looking for those cutouts.
What do you want me to do? I mean, I can't force Australia Post to get off their fat asses. People have been misinterpreting your gay clickbait to mean that you and I are breaking up, by the way. So thank you for that. I've been in some chats today, and they're like, "Why are you and Rob breaking up?" I'm like, Rob, honestly.
What? You're like, why does Rob make my life so fucking complicated?
It's just it is what it is, I suppose.
Joe Rose in the house, Nicholas Greer, John F76, Angela Curry, good to see you. Mo Biggs, Dungeon Master Blaster. The don't recognize that name, but he's probably been here 100 times. Sean Schnell is in the house. See, I just skipped over that. Junk 666.
When Schnelly say, you have to say, hello, darling.
Hello, darling. Noran Rad. Rob, have you considered using twisted thumbnails?
Oh man!
I mean,
what was up with that? What was up with that? That's my biggest ever viewed stream, I think, ever, was just a stupid draw stream that I put on a stupid thumbnail and got 4,500 Twister devotees clicking on it going, what the hell is this? This isn't Twister.
Eric Grant says, never resort to clickbait. Remember the Twister stream, Bancroft. Mo Big, Snails are all millions of a single super intelligent millionaire snail. I mean, story checks out. How's your father's in the house? Cam's in the house. Jason's in the house here for the clickbait. Mike TV Dubs here. Lethal Diva liked Barbarian Camel, so what do you say to that? Scrolling down. Remember the song Breaking Up Is Hard to Do? No. I can show it. Okay, awesome. I'll bring it up. Does Mel know? Yeah, I think Mel would be upset. If you and I broke up, Bancroft, do you think? She'd miss me.
It took her a long time to warm up to you.
I used to make a joke. And I don't know if Bancroft wants to repeat it because it really got under Mel's skin, and it's taken a while. I think she likes it now.
She's a grudge holder.
She is, isn't she? Ronco Pop's in the house. That is Shane.
Mo says Clark would miss the free food. Yeah, the biscuits.
Oh my god,
the rice crackers.
When's his birthday? We've got to send him something.
It's ages away. You could just send him a random packet of rice crackers. He would be over the moon.
Oh, maybe I will. That's a great idea. John says, I was told no one is fat in Oz. Was I misinformed? Mate, it is like a heifer nation over here.
Oh, yeah. We're getting pretty damn fat down here.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have this too, but near my mother-in-law's house, they have a shopping centre. And I swear it's like the handicapped capital city of Australia. There are so many fat people riding those ride-on scooters, Bancroft. It is crazy.
Well, we have the same situation that you guys have with the oils, all the vegetable oils and processed food. It's really I did a no processed food diet for 6 months. Lost some insane amount of weight, like 12 or 13 kilos or something. Not doing anything, just not eating from the supermarket pretty much. And it's impossible to do. You can't go anywhere. You have to prepare every single meal from scratch. And they make it, it's just like in the States. They make it incredibly hard to stay thin.
I feel like in the States, though, like you've got more of a choice of like what you can eat out. You got all these different types of restaurants.
No,
we got like pizza.
That's just where you live, Rob. You live in.
Fucking hell! Here we go. How's the view up there, Bancroft, from your mansion?
You live. It's about 30 pounds. Mo, he wants to know what 12. I think 12 kilos is about 30 pounds.
It's 2.2 pounds to a kilo, so you can do the math. What was the joke, Rob? Bancroft can tell you if he wants. I don't think
Rob used to joke a lot about how we don't own a house, and how we
bad.
Which is like pretty cruel in Australia, considering the Australian housing market is the most expensive housing market in the world, more expensive than Hong Kong, New York, Tokyo, London. There was a house nearby here. It was a dilapidated shack. It looked like it was from a horror movie. It was just like a 2-bedroom shack next to a quarry that sold for like $1.5 million or something. Like, anyway,
I'm such an arsehole, but at least I'm consistent, I guess. You know, like maybe.
We give you that.
What's the update on the Spinner Great Wheel? Going really well. Sign-ups are going well.
Yeah, it would be great if we could get to 400 sign-ups tonight.
Yeah.
If there's anyone out there who's still on the fence, whether or not you want to give us your email, just give it to us. Because what are they in The Simpsons? Come on.
Oh, I've also thought of Bancroft a way that if we actually desperately need to, like if someone gets really upset that they're not on the wheel and they desperately want to get on there, we can do it without making you do any more work to the wheel. We can just have them as an alternate. So when someone comes off the wheel, we can put them on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. I also thought of a good idea too, and I've forgotten it. So I'm going to be able to pull this out of my brain. I'll try and remember it as the night goes on.
All right.
I'm sure it'll come back to me.
Okay. I think I'm at the bottom. Pete Callan, $2. Thank you so much, man. Hale, appreciate the stream. Appreciate you. When I was in Australia, there were way more hot chicks than heifers, but I was on the Gold Coast. Dude, was that like 10, 15 years ago? Because if it was, I agree with you. Lots changed since then. Sean's in the house. Good to see you, man. Does Rob's wheel even spin anymore? Yeah, dude, it's ready to go.
Has it gotten rusty?
No, it's good. It's sitting back there. It spins up a storm. I thought we'd kick this off, Bancroft, with some little fun. Yeah, can a mod chuck the link in for Robert Frank, please? So what is the worst idea?
You should pin the link, Rob.
Well, someone needs to post it and then I'll pin it. What is the worst idea that the mainstream has tried to push on us, right? And I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and you guys in chat can vote for this too. So just bear with me here. I'm going to go with the first one. Let's go. Snowflake and safe space. Option 1.
Did they even go through with that? I don't remember if they did.
No, I don't think they did. They tried it though. Option 2, pregnant Joker. Option 3, the non-binary mosque.
I love non-binary mosque, and I love the respectful, like, Islamic. What are they called? They're not priests.
Rabbis?
They're no. No, I don't. You might get attacked for saying that. No. Anyway, whatever they are, they were very respectful of the mosque's gender identity. What was the? I mean, hang on. What's the question you're asking? What's the worst?
What's the worst? Yeah, like if you had to.
Imam. Thank you, Jaro.
Imam. That's clearly what I said.
The worst was safe space and Snowflake, because they were serious about that at a time. They had a whole, if you remember, there was a little, remember Marvel used to do had their YouTube channel, and they did a whole thing on it. And that weirdo.
That was so. And
that
these
guy
he's like,
was
I felt threatened by the buffed, muscled men. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So that's the worst. And as well, like, the mosque is actually pretty well drawn. You know, it actually looks like a comic book, whereas the other two, not so much.
Close.
I mean, that the Snowflake and Safe Space one that's just a character turnaround, but even so, I like your attempt at showing things. I'm actually, like, I would have no interest in reading Snowflake and say it's not just them either. It was the kid with the internet gas bag and the emo vampire thing
and Heifer.
So, oh yeah,
Young heifer.
Yeah, I can't remember, but anyway. But I want to learn more about this mosque. I want to know its origin story. I want to know.
It would be so funny if that became like a breakout smash, the mosque. That'd be amazing.
You know those pages where they get all the characters together? You know, like Spider-Man's always at the front and Captain America's got his shit. There's a whole thing. And then there's the mosque. It's like, this is so popular.
I've put a poll in chat, guys. So vote for it. There's 4 options. So the 3 I showed, and another one. I'd be interested, Bancroft. Is there actually a worse moment than these 3? That is a question I would ask. But with Safe Space and Snowflake, is that the worst? Because it kind of felt like the beginning. That was like when they really like thought that they could get their shit ideas in.
I love how you are so uninformed about the history of all this. Like Snowflake and Safe Space. That was the beginning of all this, wasn't it? That happened in like 2020. This shit goes back a decade now. And there were inklings of it here and there before then. So no, they weren't the beginning, but it was definitely a wake-up call. That something was very rotten in the state of Denmark. Like a lot of it hit a lot of normies because comics do all sorts of zany stuff, and normies don't pay attention. That did, because if you hadn't read a comic in 20 years or even more, or you didn't even read comics, but you had this idea of what they look like because you're alive, and then you see what they're making now, you probably went, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it?
Gay Iceman was the line for me, says Schneely. Yeah, you probably don't even remember Gay Iceman.
No, I remember Gay Iceman. I mean, I don't think that is... It's a tough one because like with the Joker and Iceman, they're taking iconic characters and just destroying them. But I don't know. Safe Space, man.
Here's the thing about Marvel and DC. I don't even know if you can destroy these characters at this point because they don't mean anything anyway in the comics. What do they mean? Like, I came across an article the other day. It's like 10 characters the Punisher is killed. Like, all right. Number 1, Captain America. Number 2, Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, right. So in some story, the Punisher killed all these characters. And it's like nothing means anything in comics anymore.
Well, I mean, I guess
like what does any of it matter?
I think that all stems, like if you go back to the death of Superman, when they did that cover that first time. Once that happened, then nothing really mattered. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are much more informed about older comics than I am. All right, let's see what people are saying.
For me, it was Gwen Stacy. Bringing back Gwen Stacy just pulled the whole rug out from underneath the character of Spider-Man, and anyway.
Chrysanthemum, good to see you, man. They're all highly offensive. Gay Superman, well, that's a good one. Snake, yeah. The facial expressions on that mosque page are excellent, says Jasper. Joker,
it tells a good story.
Comedic potential. Sierra says the mosque was also pissed off about the local Muslims shitting up the bathrooms. Oh, Cam says, can we add the Hispanic Appreciation Month where every cover was a character eating Mexican food?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that? Yeah, so they were all eating tacos and tamales and everything. And it was like, that one reminded me of the ancient one. You know, the ancient one in the MCU was played by Tilda Swinton, who is supposed to be an ancient, I don't know, like Nepalese or whatever, Asian, Oriental fella. And they were trying to avoid tropes and to be called racist. Like, oh, that's a tired old trope of the ancient Asian wise, you know. So they said, like, oh, let's bring in Tilda Swinton. She's a woman. And it completely backfired in their faces. And they just didn't understand the landscape, as in what would actually piss people off and what would make headlines and all that sort of stuff. That's what that tamales stuff reminds me of. They thought they were doing something really fun and appreciating or whatever. But they didn't factor they didn't factor in that it's 2022 or whatever year it was, and it's Clown World.
John says you've got Wolverine and the threesome on the moon, as well as I'm Not Starfire. I mean, I'm Not Starfire was something, that's for sure. Diva says Pregnant Joker is easily the worst. He's an iconic figure, and they ruined him. Yep. Clayton's in the house. Good to see you, dude.
Clayton Barton.
Yeah.
What an
Him
honor.
and his brother. They're working hard, man. They're working hard. Giant Dora the Explorer is what Sierra calls him. The chick from that safe base. What was it? The new something. What it's called? Yeah. Mo says the best part of Snowflake and Safe Space was Daniel Kibblesmith talking about how Night Thrasher scared him as a teenager. God.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really far behind.
He's a special kind of boy.
All right.
We'll just get to them. Don't ask like people want to talk to me about comic books. I'm like a horse. I'm like a racehorse. I have my blinders on. Yeah. I know a little bit about one or two characters, and that's it. Just what comes to me asking this stuff. I don't know. Ask the chat. They know things.
Rob's good with gay Iceman. No. I never really liked Iceman though that much, man, to be honest. Justice says gay Tim Drake bothered me the most. I'm a fan of that character. Rob probably never saw Angelita, Queen of Hell, or when Spider-Man was talking about how aliens don't have our dumb gender views. No, God, that sounds so painful. Justice says these are outdated talking points. Do better, Rob. I'll try. I'll try.
I like how Jasper swoops in to call you out on your and you being 5 years behind everyone else. That's how I got into all this in a big way, was through Zach laughing at America Chavez and how she was an alien, but she was all right, Latina. Sorry, getting my genders mixed up there. So she was supposed to be an alien, but she was a Latina, and somehow, and yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed those Spicy Zach videos back in the day.
Yeah, he should do them more. Does he still do them?
What do you mean?
As spicy as that? Like,
No, it's pretty spicy. He can get spicy, but I mean, I enjoy Zach's videos. I still watch them. I think he focuses a lot on the kind of denial of what's happening now rather than the actual comics, because no one cares about the comics anymore. So yeah, they're good.
Is this clickbait? Pretty much, man. I said it in the tweet I did. So let's have a quick look at the votes here. The worst was non-binary Mosque with 33%, Safe Space with 25%, Pregnant Joker with 23%, and something else with 17%. So that's interesting. A little bit of fun to kick us off. Maybe got 50 people in here. Great to see you guys. Mike, what's your topic?
My topic is that the clickbait.
Yes, yeah, totally the clickbait. I mean,
Rob, the point of clickbait is to make a title that's intriguing, that makes people have to come in. It's not what you're talking about sounds a little bit like the clickbait that you did, so that now when people come in here, they're like, what the hell? And now you're going to piss them off because that's not what we're talking about.
Do you really think that I can piss people off more than I currently do?
You guys will understand. So my topic tonight. Now, did you notice now, like Rob is always asking me for topics now?
Mm-hmm. It's time to put some work in.
Where the hell is it? I had it written somewhere. Why isn't it loading?
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I just want to show you this sick comic. Obviously, a lot of you will be aware of it already, but this is Metal Shade. How good is this looking, dude?
I hadn't seen that one. What do you think those bullets are representing there, Isaac? What are you implying with those, with the placement of those projectiles? They have a very specific shape, and they do look very happy to be there, and they like where they're headed.
I kind of wish they had like a bit more of a curve on them. You know, like they were kind of arcing upwards. What if
really... they were ribbed? What if they were ribbed
yes.
for her pleasure?
Oh my god, we should give him that feedback. I know he watches the show sometimes. Let's let him know.
No, Isaac is a boss. I can't wait to get him on my show. I hope he comes on eventually.
Yeah, man.
He seems like a cool guy. I enjoy watching his videos when he puts them out. He's obviously a real talented dude. And yeah, by all accounts, people really like this. So,
and he has a fucking banger colorist too. All the colorists he gets are sick. Like,
isn't that his lady?
But she doesn't color everything. Like he's got a few other colorists for a few other things. I've hired a couple of his colorists actually to do like some pinups. They're really good. But yeah, him and his missus make a hell of a team. They should stream, man, because she would clean up. She really would. She'd do really well.
I think she cleans up at the conventions.
Yeah,
unbelievably. Yeah. I can't,
this is Metal Shade, man. Isaac's a really cool dude. Check it out. Mo says, Rob, when you launch Replicator 4, call the stream coming out at last, then say what? I'm coming out with my next. That's a great idea, Mo. I'm going to do that. She hot. I mean, I thought that was implied. Okay, Bancroft, you're up, man.
So when Rob says, is CG breaking up, what he's referring to is my topic, which is with all of us, going onto our own sites, what will that look like in the coming years? How will it actually work? There you go. So I think he means like CG going off into our own websites.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously it's clickbait, but I think there is a legitimate question to be asked there. If we all go off onto our own sites, are we still CG? Like, are we still together, Mike?
Yes, obviously.
Eric says, I'll give Rob credit. It wasn't much of a stretch.
No, look, I understood what he meant, but I knew that's like people will be coming in and saying, what are these guys talking about? What do they mean? CG's breaking up? Jolly Green says, very dumb topic. No, I think it's a good topic. It's just how it was packaged. What is together? Asks Jay Ryan. That's a good question. What does together mean to you, Rob?
When two become one.
Or more than two.
Oh, jeez. Kick Rob. That's fair. RP says, I took your damn bait. Damn you, Rob. Sorry, man. Yeah. Just says, I need a cocktail to enjoy this. All right, Mike, let's lay it out, man. Lay it out for me.
Well.
Or is that it?
I mean, here's the thing. Here's my experience. With your own website, you have to be pushing it super, super hard just to get anyone to visit it and sort of come onto it and look at it and browse it. It's a whole different ball game to Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It really is very different. And we, I don't know if you're aware, but I was at some point the Lucent Painted Death has been shadow banned on Indiegogo. I don't know exactly when it happened, but I checked today because Eric said that his was, and I was like, oh yeah, I probably should check mine. It was gone. I don't know when that happened. So more and more, you can imagine people are going to be less invested in promoting their Indiegogos and more invested in promoting their own sites. How is that actually going to work out there in the space? Like, I mean, you could say it's not going to change anything. It's just a link.
Camel says
Thanks, Camel.
it was shadow banned after I told IGG you were CG.
It has been useful in the past to just sort of head on to just say go on to Indiegogo, like that's where we all are.
Yeah.
And as well, not everyone's site is going to be the same in terms of functionality, in terms of the way it looks, the professionalism, trust, all that sort of stuff. And as well, I mean, we talk about this stuff sort of like from the position of someone who has a channel. Like I can actually turn on a stream and talk about my site at any time I want. There's aren't people who necessarily have that power, especially if you're new, completely unknown.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like? Hey, I'm launching my first ever book. Go to whatthehellisthis.com and back it. I think it will. Like Clayton's right. I think it's going to change things quite a bit. It'll definitely, one thing it's going to do is I think it's sort of forcing us whether we want to or not. And I want to. I'm one of the people who actually want to. I think we should be expanding is to go onto Kickstarter. I know a lot of people don't want to, but it's going to force people.
Well, the floodgates completely opened on Kickstarter. I mean, there's so many creators that have gone on it now that, there's no holding it back. It's going to happen. But
you're going to have, there's a whole system. Like there's people who share links in the chat. Every time that happens now, it's a new thing. It could potentially be something new to navigate. Because everyone's going to have their own ideas on how to run their websites. It reminds me of when I first got into this. And this is before crowdfunding was a big thing. There were some crowdfunder books, but it wasn't really. I'm talking like 2014, 2015. And everyone had their own webcomic site.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was different. And the design of them were all pretty awful. And you couldn't really navigate them easily. So like everyone go to there was a big aggregation website that you kind of paid to put a banner up. And the most popular ones went at the top. And the top 10 in that web comics, I'm just talking like webtoons. I'm talking actual websites this would go to. Like Scurry was on there and that other famous one, a bunch of them. Anyway, to get in that top 10 was like you were set. Is that what it's going to be? Is we're going to go back to that? I don't know. It feels like it has the potential to be pretty rocky over the next year or so. And I don't know. I know I'm going to stay on Indiegogo, go to Kickstarter, and do my own site. I don't know if others are. Some people.
Yeah, because the new people could obviously put their stuff on Indiegogo, and when they're looking at Ethan's comic or Shane's or ours, it doesn't matter. But when they're like scrolling through comics, they might potentially see that. They're not going to have that traffic anymore. That's gone. Because it's not going to work. Gamble says, what does it mean for new guys who haven't established trust yet? Do they need to do their trials in the Indiegogo fire first?
I think they're going to have to. I mean, already people like Shane's launching his site, and he made a really big thing to say this is all in terms of the payment processing. We don't hold any credit card information. It's like I didn't know that was still a concern, but apparently it is. I don't know. You guys in the chat, let me know. Are you concerned at all about credit card issues or like, are you concerned about your privacy, your information, essentially? Because I'm not, because almost all of these sites, like if you go through Shopify or Wix or something like that, they're all using top of the line Stripe payment processing. I get on my side, I get none of your information except what you give me, which is your name and address and your phone number. Like I didn't have any access to anything else. I can't charge you, nothing like that. So now, but I do know that other people are making other sites, but is that a concern? I don't know. Some people think it is, but there are a whole bunch of concerns here, and it's like the bigger concerns I think are for the people who are just starting. They're like, this is a really I'd say it's a bad time because there are still a lot of people energized to buy indie comics, but it's a tough time. It's a tough time to get into this for the first time round.
Do you think, like, if, say, a new person came in and they were keen about CG and wanting to be in CG, that Indiegogo would realize that straight away? Or do you think they might get through on their first time without any of the shenanigans?
It's just speculation. Who knows? And they seem to not only be getting more thorough, they seem to be escalating. Actually taking campaigns down. I don't know the reason why, for instance, Truth, Justice, American Way is down. It could be something legal. It could be, I don't know. So I'm not going to speculate, but like that's where it looks like it's headed. So I definitely would not, if I was someone, I wouldn't be wanting to put all my eggs in that basket.
I'll speculate on it. I'd imagine that either Dave or Gabe has complained to Indiegogo and they've taken it down. That's how I'd speculate.
Well, I don't imagine it would be Gabe because isn't Gabe in control of the campaign?
I don't know.
Anyway, Serious Cat asks, no passwords or usernames? No, I don't have access. I mean, I have your email address, so I don't have any access to any of you. If you put in a password to access the your account, no, I don't have access to that. I haven't checked. I probably could change it, if you needed me to, but I can't find your password. That's not a thing.
Make sure
some of these comments, get some good ones.
McShort says, trust with our money is probably the biggest issue. Don't care about the individual websites. Just deliver as promised and don't dox us. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't use their real names in chat, obviously. So to putting who is who together, it's pretty much impossible to do anyway. But will publishing companies form, or will everything splinter even more? That's a good question. Maybe we'll get into that later, Mike.
Yeah, what should we do? Should we join forces and become publishing companies? Or should we stay individual as it's been for the last 4 years? What would be a stronger position for us? There's arguments for both sides. To me, I'm always worried it's like, it's all good until it isn't. And what happens over the internet is like, if you're not going in and being with someone face to face, like you would in a normal job, I don't know. We've seen rifts form and fallouts happen, even with people who you would never have imagined it could happen. So like, that's all that I always worry about. And I had another point there, but I've forgotten what it is now.
Chanelli says leaving IGG would be a win for them. I agree. I don't think we should abandon it because they want us to.
They can kick us off.
Yeah. Just keep going there. And then we've said this 1,000 million times, but give people different options. I know Jasper fucking hates Indiegogo right now, which is fair enough. So he can go back on the site. I don't know if he likes Kickstarter, but he could go back there if he wanted to. So you just give people different options. They can do whatever they want. Enrique says, customers aren't concerned about this or that besides a great product. Provide a great product and all those little concerns will mean nothing. The concerns are excuses. What do you think about that, Bancroft? That's pretty charged.
Yeah, look, I would be, if I was just starting out, I would be worried. I'm not as worried. I have a channel that's growing. I have an IP that people are responding to. So I'm personally not as worried. So I'm full steam ahead on all this stuff. If I had a completely untested, unknown thing, and I'm an unknown entity coming into this hyper competitive market, and I don't have the benefit of a site that gets millions of views a month, that's going to be tough.
Old Dirty Fatty says, when you do anything online with money, you should be concerned, and that has never and will never change. Yeah, that's true. Well, if a new crowdfunding site starts, not sure I want them to have my info, then gay ops, we got hacked. Sorry about that. Go oops, we got hacked. Sorry, I'm struggling to read today. Scrolling down. Why worry about the new creators? It's not like there's an alternative. LOL. That's so true, man. Like, the position that new comic creators are in right now is probably the best position it's been ever. Do you agree with that? That's a big call, isn't it? And then he says, what are they going to do? Go work for Marvel, LOL.
I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I agree with that to an extent. Like, if you're a super talent, if you're really, let's think of some really talented guys that are coming up here. Chris Graves, people just off the top of my head, a bunch of people who in any other sane time would have been snapped up by some big company and be making 6 figures drawing comics.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's true. I reckon Shane's obviously in the chat. I reckon he would be able to tell us stories about amazing artists that didn't get through for whatever reason.
Are you sure Shane is? Oh, he is. I thought that was Shave Danis.
We've got both of them. We've got both of them.
They're both here.
Bro
dogs. Yeah, look, I don't know. Let's read more of the chat. They've got smarter things to say than I do.
Steven says, when the Backer Arnold feud starts, I'm going to play both sides. Everyone will. That's what will happen. 40% Zed. The people that donated to the trucker protest had their info leaked. The guy that did that is mentally ill lunatic that wanted to punish supporters. Does that sound familiar? Shit, coming in hot. Who cares about winning against IGG? You've got families to feed and make great books. Fuck IGG if they're doing this to you. Yeah, I agree with you. But I'm also like, if we just let them do what they want, then the next company that does the same thing we're going to...
Oh, yeah, I'm actually not thinking about that at all, McShort. I'm not here to fight a moral battle against a corporation in San Francisco or whatever, wherever the hell they are. I'm just talking about money. Like, it's money for creators and it's books for customers. I did a poll on it not too long ago, and still 20% of my followers, and I've been pretty, straightforward and hardline on this since all the shadow banning started. 20% of them were still like, no, I want to back you on Indiegogo. I don't want to back you on your site. So I'm like, well, that's what they want. I give them that option. I'm not interested in engaging in a moral war with a friggin' tech company in 2023. It's purely about, I think if we will, to all of us just go off onto our own sites and disappear completely off crowdfunding websites altogether, I don't think that would help our prospects in finding new readers and making more money. I think that would hurt our prospects, personally.
Robert Frank says, a number of books are back will definitely drop in anyone who takes forever to fulfill and less likely to give unproven creators a back. That's how it is, isn't it? Jasper says, Indiegogo needs to be kneecapped publicly for being a corrupt platform. I don't know what you can do at this point. Like, I've said get at them on Twitter, but it's not going to do anything, is it? So, Enrique is coming in hot, man. I like it. If you're new at CG and you're worried that no one will find you, so what? Are you being super visible everywhere? Else, grab an oar. Everyone fights for their scraps. Those who refuse deserve nothing. Yeah, McShort
when
says,
you come in with a new book, yeah, like, and a lot of people are doing this, and it's cool. It's like, it's a great looking book. Look at, say, something like Aquila, which I've considered to be one of the top looking new books.
Yep.
But it's going to make 5,000, whatever. It's going to get 110 backers or something like that. But you do the same thing, Rob. You start there, and then the next time you come around, you get to say, oh, this is my second book. Everyone's already gotten their first one. Now you get to, potentially start convincing a lot more people. So I think that's perfectly fair. I'm just thinking, like, this is just another roadblock, because making these sites is not easy, especially like if you want to make a good one. It's not something that just anyone can do too. Not everyone has that designer's eye that knows how to do that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just another thing, that big tech has sort of put in front of us to slow us down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad logos out there, Bancroft. I mean,
there's a lot of bad website designers, and trust me, there's going to be a lot more coming in the coming years.
If your logo doesn't look good, I mean, what are the chances your website are going to look good?
It's funny too, because Shopify. Someone said earlier, do I was it Simply Green, would I trust Bancroft's site at this point? Yes. The funny thing is, like, it's not my site. I know it's my site. I bought it. I fitted it out. But the site itself is a Shopify site. I mean, would you trust Shopify? The question then is, like, do you trust Bancroft? Do you trust me to actually take your money, produce the books, and ship them? That's more, I think, the relevant thing here. And especially with these Shopify things, like, you get that money straight away. So you have to the question, like, do you trust people to get all that money and use it properly according to what the business needs and everything? That's a concern. But yeah, people have got to earn that trust. So that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed, I suppose. It's just like, again, I'm just sort of thinking, like, yeah, it's another sort of hurdle.
But I mean, this is like, the way he's phrased this is interesting. It's like, would I trust Bancroft's site at this point? Yes. So I mean, like, at some point you've earned his trust, Bancroft. You've been in this for like 2-3 years now. Doesn't sound like a new person is going to have the same sort of leeway. Robert says, plus a lot of smaller creators are going to be trying to build websites on shoestring budgets. That's where credit card info will get leaked and systems hack. But like, if you just use Shopify, that's
mine
eliminates that.
Like, you can sign up for a 3-month deal. You get it for $1 for 3 months. You don't pay a thing. So I mean, it doesn't get more shoestring than that. Yeah, look, I just use Shop. The cool thing about Shopify is you get to hold what am I thinking here? Damn it. I keep reading the chat and I get distracted. I apologize.
Lisa Diva. Well, the question is, if you're new, will people be willing to give you the credit card info? I kind of doubt it, like Shane or Ethan Shaw, but some random no-name crowdfunding their first book, no way. It might just take some of the bigger guys going over and on Shopify or whatever they're doing to make people in their community more comfortable in using Shopify. Do you think? Yeah, it's interesting.
Shopify, Squarespace, or Wix, says Jay Ryan. Jim Cox says, again, I can't remember what this was about, Jim. I think it's a billing address or something. says Shopify isn't just giving you the shipping address like eBay would. I don't remember what I said, Jim, but it doesn't. Yeah, I get the exact same information on Shopify that I do on eBay. I don't get anything extra that I'm aware of. Just what I need to send you the thing. Just essentially what you put in. I only get what you put in there in terms of address and email and phone. I don't think I get anything else. So I can't. I think we said something about billing addresses and shipping addresses. You said you get the billing info and the shipping info. When you say billing info, what are you referring to? So sometimes some people add in a billing address that's different to the shipping address, but I don't even know if I have access to that. I think you can enter it. I don't know, but I don't get any like card details or anything like that.
Shane says the worst thing to do is nothing. Yep,
absolutely.
Mo says Bancroft should figure out how to add the totals from his simultaneous campaigns into one total on his site. That's a great idea, Mo. Where did you come up with that one?
Oh, yeah, I forgot you're claiming that idea.
You're damn fucking right. I'm
yeah,
claiming
Shane said that was really expensive to do. So, and there's guys who said they know how to do it, but they need the APIs. I don't even know what an API is for both Kickstarter and Indiegogo. But yes, that would be amazing. That would really, and Shane's done that, by the way. So that's really
I'm glad I gave him the idea.
A lot of the issues. Yeah, but the thing is, like, Indiegogo could change it, and then you have to go and change it. So, we'll see.
Tomb says we take the same risk on Indiegogo. Lido says what people should be thinking about is finding a way to get more readers in this space. The customer base is shrinking, not growing. It seems that's an interesting point. Do you agree with that?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion. I think we had that discussion last week.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
If the chat wants us to talk, yes, we talked about growing our channels. I mean, we have no other way. We have no other way at our disposal to gain readers currently than growing our audiences. And we had that discussion yesterday. That doesn't mean I try and grab more of Shane's audience. Like, Shane's got 7,000. Oh, if I can get 500 of Shane's subscribers to sub to me, I'll have 500 more subscribers. The net goal of people who are in this space buying and reading comics hasn't budged an inch. So we had this discussion, like, how do we find new people who might be interested in what we're doing over here? That's the only way I know about is to grow our channels, but we had that discussion last week.
Little Davis says, well, the other scary thing is if you're in a different country, so it's hard to do anything about it if something does go wrong. Jasper, I can't believe you said this. He says, Shane, fire up a stream. That is some, Jasper, that's sacrilegious. Oh my God. Comics Ledger says, just don't suggest crowdfunding on Kickstarter or you'll get kicked out of CG like poor Clint Stoker. He's still in CG. He's just...
we talked about that last week too.
Taking a bit of a step back.
Yeah. Well, everyone's going to Kickstarter now. So, we'll all get kicked out.
Pete says, for 2, I regret appreciating the stream. Thanks, man. Shane says, Rob, I've never listened to you. That's fair. That's fair.
You can see the moment in his heart where it breaks.
You listen to me right
Jim
now.
Cox, super backer. Hail. 5 figures. Amazing.
Yeah, that's insane. Jim says, Indiegogo has processed 5 figures of my money. I've never had any money issues with them or other than them tricking me into giving them a tip. God, that was some bullshit, wasn't it? Mick Short says, individually we're weak, but together we form.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper, it's not about growing on YouTube. You've got to grow outside of YouTube. That's what I
think comes later. Like, I can only expect him to mean sort of bookstores.
Yeah.
Shane was talking about that on Ethan's the other day. And I agree. That's a great end goal.
So how far away is
I've
that?
maintained. What's that?
How far away is that?
Well, I've maintained that we're not there yet in terms of actual content. We have a lot of individual books. We have a lot of first issues and first books and stuff. But if you want to go into a bookstore and compete with the manga shelf, you've got to actually offer something that is substantial. That's volumes. Like this. I keep this actually pretty close to me.
Thickness.
Oh God, it's heavy. This.
Yeah.
We need stuff like this to get outside of YouTube, Jasper. I don't think any of us are here yet. Maybe some are, but I doubt it. Like, this is what you need.
Dude, how long is that going to take for one creator to get there, or a team,
5
or whatever?
to 10 years.
I mean, that's a shitload of work.
So, oh God, that's heavy. And that was $80. This is how we get lots of readers. But this represents, probably 10 years of work or more. And this is a popular series, so.
Pete Callan for 2. I've spent thousands in CG and still ain't got head, by the way.
It's unlucky,
well,
man.
I mean, considering like the demographic of male to female, it's probably a good thing, Pete. You know? Bark Nata says, I just got here. Did we break up? No. We're sticking together.
Breaking up is hard to do. But clickbait is easy for Rob.
Jim says, $25 comic books aren't going to make it in the bookstore. No,
that's it. And this is well and truly the crowdfunding stage.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. I think crowdfunding is here to stay. I want it to stay. I love the model. I am all about it. But it's a very specific thing, and it does put you in this bubble where you're not going to reach readers who are not invested in you. And I don't even know who wrote this. I'm not invested in Kazu Kibuishi, but I'll spend $80 on 8 books for my daughter. That's great value. I think that's a good thing she can read. But yeah, to get there, I mean, holy crap. But that's my I don't know, that's my end goal. I think that's probably the end goal of most creators in this place. It's like we're doing this. We're not all of us top level pros, and even the guys who are top level pros, like Shane, he has to crowdfund his books to get these things made, because who else is going to pay him to live while he's doing this? Unless there's some publisher who wants to say, hey Shane, I'll give you $300,000 to work on a book. At 300, and what kind of deal is that going to be? Is he going to own it? I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it can work. So yeah, I'm still well and truly digging the crowdfunding model, but I think we're going to have to crawl and walk before we can even really start thinking about running.
So what happens? You get 10 issues out and you're charging $25 a pop on crowdfunding, for example, and then you just collect them all into a tome or a series, whatever you want to call it.
You don't put him in a tome. That's where no one's going to see him except the dead. You put him in a tome, and you release him.
Yeah, but do you just drop the price down to whatever it is, $25?
Well, it's a whole different thing at that point.
Yeah, and is that cool? Are people going to be cool with that? Hey, you paid this for it. Yeah, okay. I'm just checking. Pete's
it's a whole different thing.
know what that means.
Different format, different thing, packaged, whatever. It's a whole new thing.
Tomb or Tome? Tomb Raider, Tome, Comb. What? You guys are hilarious.
Tome Raider.
And like, this isn't a good example, but we're going to talk about manga for a second. The reason why they can get so much of it out is it's nowhere near good as comic book art. I don't think it is. And people are going to be like, there's some fucking sick looking manga, Rob. And I'm like, yeah, there is. And this looks great. But there is nowhere near as much detail as in this as there is, you know, whatever best book is out currently. Right? I mean, even this is
well,
this
and
is
it's black and white too.
Yeah, this is like
that's pretty
too.
detailed, I'd say, for manga, by the way.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
That's not your sort of triangle faced stuff.
And they're all like they're in teams. They're in teams of people. Like, it's not one artist.
Yeah, but in the mainstream they have teams too. What's
but they have teams working on like the same pages. You know, like different pages too. Like different pages, not I don't know where I'm going with this. Enough of the weeb stuff. I don't know where you're going. That's no Bancroft background. Yeah, like exactly. I mean, like, and this isn't a good example because this is actually pretty well drawn. There's like some of it's just pretty horrendous. But that's the problem. Like, we want to hold on to having great art, which I want to see in comics. But the trade-off is it's fucking slow. What are you going to do?
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I don't know what everyone else is going to do.
The readers don't care. You're looking at it from the wrong angle. You rather have poorer art coming out more quickly, Jasper, than more detailed art coming out more slowly. Is that what you're saying?
Manga readers definitely would rather.
Yes, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. You know, like.
Well, and there's currently 100 times more manga readers than there are comic book readers. So
yeah,
it's not like they're not onto something.
I'm just having a look through some of the manga here. I didn't say poor. Detail is great, but has nothing to do with engaging story and interesting characters that you care about. CG needs to focus on that more than whiz-bang art. Well, that's interesting.
There's an argument there. There's an argument there. Art gets bums in seats. As someone who's, I checked, I put together a playlist of launch streams I've done. I've done 45 launch streams on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And hundreds and hundreds of streams where we promote comic books. I'll tell you right now, at least in this space, art gets bums on seats. It really does. So yeah, unless you really are able to pump out just absolutely cracking stories all the time, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. The whole more focus on art.
Enrique says, stop worrying about manga. NASCAR drivers don't complain about the F1 league. Basketball players don't cry about the WNBA. Well, I mean, in this case, it would be the WNBA complaining about the basketball, the NBA, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, manga's destroying comics, sales-wise, for sure. McShort says, in my opinion, comics are going to crash hard more than now. Fans will eventually gravitate towards books like yours. You just have to keep the idea brand going. CG will be way bigger after that. You guys will be legends. That'd be nice.
I just noticed what McShort's freaking avatar is. That is brilliant.
Is that a pair of tits?
I thought it was Spider-Man, but
yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant, McShort. I've never seen that. I apologize. I've never seen that. I'm an idiot.
Joe Rose says, plenty of styles of manga which cater to different age, gender, job, demographics, painting with a broad brush hero. Yeah, dude, I'll stick by that though. Don't get me wrong, there is some manga that is drawn and is absolutely beautiful, but I think it's fairly unique. I would say most manga that I've definitely read, the art isn't at the top level that you'd expect to see in comic books. That's all I'm saying. I think comics are better than manga in that sense. I mean, you can make an argument for fucking everything else for manga, but in that sense, definitely comics. Yeah. Shogun Jump artists put out 10 to 15 pages a week on some stories. I mean, like, how you gonna compete against that?
That just makes you want to vomit.
Like even Canetti was doing like 4 or 5 pages a week, Bancroft on Arc Athena, which is
he sort of has a similar-ish approach to it all.
Similar style, yeah.
Yeah, like he's not about accuracy. He is about kinetics, which is funny because his name's Canetti. He's about energy and motion and gesture and all that sort of stuff and line. But he gets a lot of detail in there, so...
Eric says, art drives long-term investment, story drives long-term investment, at least as a general rule. Dave, because we do crowdfunding, quality art is important to get backers. When people are invested in your series and it's easily available in stores, other factors start to matter more. I mean, yeah, you're talking about your launches that you did, Bancroft. Probably one of the best ones was Reaper Destroyer, and the art on that was incredible. So,
yeah,
I mean that
it's just I mean you can't. It's undeniable at this point that art will sell books,
especially in this space too. Like
in crowdfunding,
yeah, especially in this space too, because there's a lot of great artists in here, and most people love looking at art, and if the art's fucking banger, then that's easier for people to get excited about. Jose says, I'd rather read a great story with an okay art than a book with slightly better art that comes out every 2 to 3 years. I mean, for the characters and story rather than the art books. That's fair, man. That's fair. Didn't Bancroft already notice that in a past stream? You know what happens here, Sumo. We talk about the same things that we always talk about in a different way. It's how we roll.
Talk about it on a different week.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, if anyone does gift memberships tonight, and I'm not asking you to, I do have a clip to play for when that happens. I thought I'd pull my finger out and get that done.
You can ask, Rob. It's fine. You're allowed. We're capitalists over here. We're not ashamed of making money. Yeah, well, Rob, these streams are becoming more popular, which is a great thing to see because I really enjoy doing these streams. And even though we do go over the same sort of topics a lot, you always have to remember this could potentially be the first time someone's hearing these discussions.
It's true.
So you have to think about that as well. And there are, different, people change their minds and, new information comes out. Like for instance, I didn't imagine the depths that Marvel and DC would plumb to in terms of what they're doing in their comics. It's way above and beyond anything I thought they would go to, but lo and behold, I mean, here we are. So yeah, it is like week to week. It might seem like we're just talking about the same stuff, but I think over the months and years and decades, imagine doing this in a decade's time, Rob, me and you.
It's like, what's the problem with CG this week? Why are books late? I mean, people would lose their minds.
Could happen. I don't know.
Okay, it's happened, Bancroft. Are you ready? Here we go.
That's right. Now, say my name.
Sumo Thori. Gifted 5 memberships, you legend.
I wondered where you were going with that. I'm like, what is this? He's talking about himself? Okay, all right.
What do you reckon? How we go? We like that? Not bad? Give me a rating out of 10, Sumo. Give me a rating out of 10.
That's pretty good.
What a letdown. Oh my gosh, you guys are so hard to please. So hard to please. Jason says, if you've heard it all before, it's still great for putting you to sleep. Yeah, man. I think so too. Yeah. We got 72
Look, it's a
people.
pleasure. It's like coming back to an old friend's house, you know?
Oh, okay. Let's have a quick look at the ratings. We got a 5 from Sumo. Sumo,
is that a 5 out of 10?
Yeah. You let me know if you have a preferred clip for me to play when you give memberships, and I'll play it for you. How about that? 4 out of 10 for Jay Ryan. 9.8. That's a nice score. Mo says Rob got lucky. It only worked because it was Sumo, who Bancroft always forgets. You've forgotten Sumo for your kids all the way to college. Makes sense. No,
I'm not even sure how to answer that.
Yeah, neither am I. Where did we end up on that topic? I can't even remember.
I don't know. We started off talking about, going onto our own websites. You somehow got onto manga, and I just didn't have the heart to get you off the train. You seemed taken away.
Please do. Please help me.
I mean, do you have any other topics or?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god.
One thing that I wanted to shout out, but it's not here anymore. Shane, who is in chat and doesn't listen to me, he and Mandy have started doing a promo show, but I can't find it. It's not there anymore. I think he takes down his live video.
Yeah, he takes down his streams.
Why does he do that? How am I meant to find things?
Well, I mean, the wisdom is that if you have live streams on your channel,
is that what I'm doing wrong?
Then YouTube will punish you by not putting your things on the algorithm. I don't know how true that is. I think it's other factors, but anyway, that's a decision he takes. A lot of people do. Like, I think, that Star Wars girl, a lot of people don't keep their live streams up. Maybe he memberships them. I don't know.
Maybe. Regardless, when I saw it the last time, it had like 2.1 thousand views. So I mean that's nothing to sneeze at, Bancroft. That's a good viewing for a promo stream.
That's why I'm trying to grow the channel. Like, imagine there were 20 of us who can get 2,000 views on
Mandy's channel.
A stream selling, indie comics.
Apparently, it was on Mandy's channel, which might explain things.
Thwarted again, Rob.
Oh my god. Yeah, here it is. I found it. No wonder I couldn't find it on Shane's channel. I mean, it's on Mandy's. It's got 3.4 thousand views. So, I mean, great job, guys.
John F., before we get into this, John F. says, I don't like the idea of individual websites. CG should fund an Indiegogo alternative where everyone can be found and CG controls. It's easy to use your card in one site. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how pragmatic it is. When you get down to the hundreds and thousands of working parts, how that would actually function. On top of that, do people want that? And on top of that, with Shopify, like if we get 50 people with their own Shopify sites, your information is already there. So it's like you don't have to be connected at all. Like, say for instance, if you backed on Mandy's site and you come to my site, your information will already be saved. You don't have to enter anything. It's already there. So there's that's a kind of, I think that's a pretty good compromise. But having said that, there are also people who are building crowdfunding sites. There's the Fund My Comic by Luke Stone. I think Ray Romano is building one. We'll see how they go. I'm pretty agnostic about the whole project of it all. I was able to build a site that functions pretty much like a crowdfunder. I can make it even more crowdfundery if I wanted to. In 2 weeks, I built it for nothing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Rumble getting more viewers every week. You got up to 10, didn't you? I mean, that was good. It's moving up from 5 to
I'm
10.
getting like between 30 and 60 views on a stream.
Like, I'm giving you shit, obviously, but that's where you start, man. That's where you start.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what my
like
views were like when I started on YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
it's just how it is. Steven says, "Get it together, Rob." I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. Jasper says Shane doesn't want Vickyverse scraping shit off his channel. That makes a lot of sense, actually. She does seem to have a hard-on for Shane, especially Shane. Mandy has boobs, Rob. Yep, she sure does. So does Mike.
Man boobs. I hide them with my black t-shirt so you can't see them.
That's like the one thing Mike and I agree on: black t-shirts
on streams. Yeah.
Do you know Fragger's doing like the 365 days of t-shirts? And he's posting one each day. I was so tempted to do that as well and just post a black t-shirt every day, but I'm like, it's not that funny.
I have probably that many t-shirts.
You have 365 t-shirts.
Yeah, because I used to almost get paid in t-shirts at a point. Like they'd give you, sometimes you'd win. I think the most I had was a $500 voucher at Threadless. Do you know how many t-shirts you can buy on sale when they're, $13 each with that kind of voucher? It's a lot.
At least
they don't
50.
all fit me anymore because A, t-shirts shrink, B, humans grow. So they fill out. It's a lot of them do. Some of them are a bit tight around the old chestal regions.
McShort says individual website might work better. Sites like IGG or a centralized CG site are bigger targets for them to try and shut down. Better if you're all individual smaller targets, harder to hit.
That's just one of the many, many issues I foresee happening. Just one.
What are the other many, many, many issues?
Oh, well, I mean, go down a rabbit hole. Gatekeeping. Is it a CG site? What about people who are on the peripheral? What about the people who run the site think are actually kind of anti-CG, but they say they're CG? What about DDoS attacks? What about
no one uses DOS anymore, Michael.
What about what about the fact that it's incredibly difficult to build a website and to get traffic actually going to it regularly? I like it works fine when you just put the link in for a specific campaign then and there. But the whole point of going on to an aggregated site like Indiegogo or Kickstarter is there's people there. Well, I don't think there's enough people in this space to make that really a going concern. There's a myriad of issues, tech issues, cost issues. You guys can probably think of more, but I think that's just probably scratching the surface. What does it look like? How well designed is it? Will people want to put their stuff on there?
Is there no way, Bancroft, and there probably isn't, to make like a community type thing on Shopify or something like that? So you can tie all the campaigns together in one area that can't really get DDoS attacked.
Yeah, someone could build that pretty easily, I think.
I mean, would that
not everyone's going to be on Shopify. Shane's site is not Shopify; it's proprietary. I think it's WordPress based, and then there's got a lot of proprietary, code in there. So,
I got a question for you. It holds a bit of a rough one. If YouTube if YouTube had like a communities section, right, where you could put everyone into a group to keep it all kind of neat and know where everyone is, like a CG one, is that something you would do or not want to do?
Probably not.
Hmm.
I mean, the whole point of YouTube to me is getting out there and finding people who aren't already here. I mean, yes, cater to your community, obviously, but I think that's done on an individual basis. Not everyone is a fan, believe it or not, Rob. This is shocking. Not everyone is a fan of me.
No,
not everyone is a fan of you.
That I
Not
understand.
everyone is a fan of Ethan or Shane or John or anyone. So it works in that we are loosely affiliated, but we run our YouTube channels how we run them. You know, each one has its own personality that's related to the person who's running it. So look, I don't know. Didn't they build that? There was that Twitter communities CG thing. Yeah. I stayed in there for 2 seconds before I bailed. I'm like, I didn't see the point. Like, what is it doing more that just being on Twitter isn't doing? And you know, it's not sort of like there's not a wall around it. Let's build bridges, not walls, Rob. No, and you know, the point of YouTube is finding people who haven't heard of you yet. So,
no, it's funny though, because like I'd say everybody likes you, Mike, except for your 5 mortal enemies that you have now. Me, not so much. I'd say there's more people that
maybe they tolerate me, but they're like, well, I could take him or leave him. I mean, if he died tomorrow, they wouldn't lose a night's sleep.
I would.
You would, but you know, we've hung out together. My son has stolen your rice crackers. You know, there's a little bit more connection there.
Catch you later, Crackhead.
See you, Jeremy. I don't know where I was going with that.
Jeremy says maybe Ethan's site will be ready someday. We haven't heard anything update on that, have we?
Well, I think the site that's more prescient right now is Luke Stone's Fund My Comic, because that, by all accounts, is supposed to be launching.
Is that up yet?
Within weeks. No, but they are taking sign-ups, I think. Again, I don't know how this is all going to work. I know with Indiegogo, there's all sorts of like there's countries where you can't use Indiegogo if you're from Brazil, for example, or something like that. You know, how's that going to work? Do they like? I don't know.
That's gonna be.
I just don't.
That's gonna be interesting, man.
So,
see how that one goes.
Yeah. Like when I started CG Now, people were like, "Oh, this is going to be massive. It can be this big thing." And I was like, "Let's build it up let's just build it to a functioning level first before we start talking about how big it's going to be." Like every time we try and do something, Rob, like the Great Wheel giveaway or that giveaway we did beforehand, we're starkly reminded of just how far our reach is. It's not very far.
It's like trying to throw wet paper towel. It doesn't go very far.
Well, it'd be easier than throwing dry paper towel, wouldn't it?
That's true.
Why is that a saying?
I don't know, actually. It's a stupid saying. Anyway, this is for you, person that just gifted 5 memberships. Here we go.
That's right. Now, say my name.
D! Thank you, man, for gifting 5 memberships. You're a legend. You, Sumo, absolute top bloke.
I need to get myself a Breaking Bad clip.
Guys, if you want to see more of that Breaking Bad clip, fuck, I cannot speak today. Someone down here really fucking quick, Mike.
Have a glass of water, Rob. Calm down.
Can I show you this from Sumo? He got a commission piece from Dave Brink's artist, and
they're good.
Look who's
holy shit!
There.
That's Replicator. I recognize
man.
that.
How sick is that?
That's Ghost and Perfect 10.
Yeah, isn't that sweet, man?
Has Dave seen these?
I don't know. Sumo said I could show it. Otherwise, I'm in big
Oh
trouble.
no, I'm just saying, like, has Dave seen this yet?
I'm not sure.
That's very cool.
Pork says, I use IGG for consistencies. Every campaign is on its own site. Lack of consistency for checking out is painful and major deterrent for many. Yeah, I mean, this can
it's
be
really
so many
easy
people like that.
yeah, it's really easy to see where all your, what you're waiting on, what's, this and that. And Indiegogo does make an attempt, strangely enough, even on closed campaigns, to ensure that you're updating your backers. So yeah, there's that. Like, there's none of those kind of quote unquote guarantees going to be happening on, another site. It's just going to be whatever that creator does. So yeah, there's that.
Lord Nemesis hates me. He says no one is a fan of Rob. I mean, it's so harsh. Mo says Rob thought he was a hacker every time he booted up the original Warcraft in DOS. It's true.
Typing it in, like,
yeah,
forward. What was this? BC / execute.
Yeah, and run.
I can't remember what it was, but
I'm so
run. Yeah.
Ronco, I'm not a fan of Discord, but I'm surprised someone hasn't started up a CG Discord.
They have Ronco Pop. Absolutely.
Have they? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they descend into madness in a couple of days, and everyone leaves.
Mo says, Bancroft, every viewer here would lose sleep if you died. Your streams are very helpful with insomnia problems.
I have that effect on Mel. Whenever she's having trouble sleeping, she's like, so tell me about the composition of the sun. And I'm saying, okay, so you've got hydrogen and helium, and then I start on like that, and she's out.
Scrolling down.
Also, we have Twitter. Like, Discord is, I don't know. I don't think a lot of CGers are sort of my age. They're not really Discorders. Discorders are a bit younger, I think. We have Twitter. We're pretty active on Twitter.
Oh, that's an interesting idea from Jasper. He says, you guys should hire someone to design a template that everyone can use so all of these sites look similar.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
Wow. It didn't even entertain it. Didn't even give it a second thought there, Mike. How does that make you feel,
look
Jasper?
at everyone's books. Look at the difference in them.
Tell me in a super chat how you feel about how Mike's treated you.
No, I'm just saying, like, look at everyone's comics. Like,
yeah.
No one's going to agree on an aesthetic, and no one's going to say anything. Like, I look at things and I think, oh, that's not very good looking, or I'm not just going to go out and tell them. So
that's another point, Bancroft, too. Like, how we're talking about art before and how art's important. If your art's shit, you're not getting on the Bancroft show.
Well, I mean, I've had some doozies in the past.
D says, I'll use IGG or Kickstarter unless a creator has their own site. Yeah.
You're going to have to, I suppose. Look, it's not so much about getting on the show. It's about creating buzz and getting backers. By the time you're on the show, if you haven't created the buzz, it's too late.
Oh man, yeah,
it's already like the time has passed. You might get, in my chat, if there's 50 to 100 people in there, you might get 6 people who are like, oh, this looks pretty good, I'll give it a chance. But if you haven't already done the work, then that's it. And that buzz, I still feel like, how are you going to buzz someone on a premise? Like, you just type in a Twitter. My book is about a chick who she dreams, and then she finds out that her dreams are like there's more real going on there, and there's like It's not, no one's going to sign up. Look, Rob's already asleep. Yeah.
What?
You've got to show something that grabs people.
Yeah.
And go. And that's where the art comes into it.
Like boobs. Pork says, and there's an incentive for responses in the comments. If there's no comments on individual sites, concerns are concealed. That's a good point too.
Yeah, I got comments on mine, and when I start sending the books out, I'll be putting reviews up there, so you'll be able to review directly onto the product. You'll have to have bought it. That'll be a stipulation. But yeah, there'll be reviews on there. So I think that's important as well for transparency too, Pork. But I don't know if everyone's going to do
that. Mo says, remember when Fizz went off on Bancroft for gatekeeping Goofanoid? Dude, that was
forget?
Crazy.
Pretty funny.
Dude. I remember all of us in that chat just going, dude, stop. You got to stop talking. No, shut this down. Delete this stream. And never talk about it.
And then it went to some really dark places,
Dude.
and we were like, "Oh, this guy's a interesting fella."
It went really, really not good place. McShort says, I used to talk to my wife about Star Wars, but that put her to sleep. So now it just annoys her. So I switched it to disappointing her with sex. She crashes right away.
No, she falls asleep after. That means you did a good job. You rattled her cage.
This is kind of what I was getting at with notice, and it links with creating the buzz. Create the buzz, and people bring to the streamers notice. Bring it to the streamers. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, Mike. You had people on there, and there wasn't buzz, and you're trying to promote a book, but you can't.
Well, the whole thing about
make
a
it
launch
happen.
stream, if it's just promoting a book, it's fine. You know, if they don't get any backers, whatever. If it's a launch stream, it's all about energy. People. Like I consider them to be my premiere show. That's the big entertainment show. So they're sort of supposed to be a little bit special. Yeah, that's why I implemented the 100 sign up thing. That's why I'm much more pickier now as to who I will accept to launch. We actually just had that Chrome Dog guy just got to 100 backers. He was on like 16 or something. So I said, all right, well, let's try and do that thing where we try and get you up to 100 backers and just in the meantime, get people used to, the idea of your book and perhaps anticipating it. And now he's over 100 backers, 100 signups. So yeah, we'll be able to launch on my channel and, there will at least be some people there who will like, yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, nice.
Because there's nothing worse than finishing that cool countdown and just sitting there and nothing's happening. That's
Mate, yeah, and it gets to the point like sometimes like I'm watching, I'm like, this could legitimately go the hour and this person not get one backer on Bancroft. I'm like, that is scary.
Yeah, it's something to avoid.
I would hate to be in that position. Catch you later, Eric. I tried to get Drew with Born of Blood 1 on your show. He's closing book 3 now. You could have gotten in on the ground floor. I like how Jasper thinks we know who that is.
No, I do know who that is.
Launch streams are great. Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're fantastic. Yeah, the Reaper Destroyer one, we've talked about it to death, but that was probably the best launch, I think, last year. I
put all the launch streams, like I said, onto a playlist on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through them. Remember the first one that really was like, holy cow, like we've actually built something here as an audience and community here, was Camels. The Starlight Cats one. Because Camel had been around, Joe, we knew of him a little bit, but we didn't, he wasn't like a big sort of player in my chat or anything. But yeah, I think he made 3,500, and we were just over the moon. I mean, it was just this unheard of thing. Because before then, it was like, you maybe get $500 if it's a good night. It was 3.5K in 45 minutes, and it was just pow. And we went back and looked. That stream has 400 views on it. That's it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, just goes to show, like, it's more about the audience than the raw sort of views. It's about how well you've promoted. And he's got his own network. He's got his own channel. He's promoted. There was buzz. The book looks great. And it's the people who are actually in the chat. It's the quality of the crowd, not the size of it, that really matters. So
Pork says, best promo stream in the last 6 months is Chris Wozniak's Penelope Powerhouse. Can you get him on the channel? Jasper says Drew was good on Ethan's the other day, but left to close his book to 9 people on his channel.
that's always the tricky thing, because Ethan is very sporadic with his streams. They pop up and then they disappear. It's like a
except for the moment where he seems to be streaming 24/7.
Well, he's actually been quite consistent. It's like 8 or 9 it goes on. Not necessarily how long it goes for, but yeah. So Drew was in the chat and Ethan pulled him on. But if you've already scheduled something, it's like especially if people have made plans, and then there's no way around that. You book guests, schedule things. Maybe they took the night off or the following day off. I don't know.
God, that's a question for chat too, right? Because Joe Sontag had an offer to go on Ethan's to launch his book, but he'd already organized it with Bancroft. Do you think he made the right decision there? I mean,
well, I think he did in that specific case. It was the biggest buzz that we'd ever. It was the biggest buzz that most calling me out because I did cancel a stream the other day and went on to Ethan's. Yeah, but I didn't have a guest. I actually had a guest and he postponed. He's like, I can't make it tonight. I'm sorry. So I was like, all right. I was looking like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to work and then maybe I'll go on to Ethan's. We'll see. Because it was like, I don't know if I can do another 3 days in a row streaming head to head against Ethan. But anyway, in general, now I've totally forgotten what I was talking about before that.
You gotta stop getting distracted by the chat, Bancroft. It's
Well,
kind of my fault.
They call me out. They call out my bullshit, and I've got to cope.
Joe Rose says he made the right call. Everyone was ready for the
Bancroft. Oh yes, yeah. It was the. Well, on top of that, Ethan couldn't do it that night, so Joe would have had to postpone. So, yeah. Like I said to Joe, like, hey man, no hard feelings. Like, if you can get onto Ethan's, go onto Ethan's. I will say to you though, we have you could tell I'd never seen buzz like that before. We have everyone on like primed to white hot for it to launch at whenever it was. I think it was 9 p.m. that day. So if you do it, like if you can do it on Ethan's, do it at that exact moment. If you can't, let's go.
Yeah, I think you made the right call too. I really do. That was a great stream, and he did so well. Sierra Whiskey sent me this. He really wants me to read it. Nathan Garen's son, our white savior. Hey, you all listen and listen good. The savior wants real food. I'm sick of this noodle and rice shit. And give me some utensils, not these goddamn wooden things. They break every time I stick them in my foodstuffs. You ever heard of a knife and fork? You need to treat your savior better. You want to kill Kenji's men? Then you follow me, because I'm clearly smarter and stronger and better than any of you rice-eating rice eaters. I've killed so many people. Oh man, they're so dead. Now quit staring and get me a bucket. I've got a puke coming on.
It's supposed to be. I did a tweet about this and then I deleted it because I was like, I don't want to get into arguments with people at that time. It's supposed to be satire, but it's just cringe, and it's like, we get it. You think white people are yokel hillbillies? Cool. Yeah, I think it's called White Savior. And like it says in their thing, like you read the article that it's about, and they're saying, yeah, it's supposed to be a satire on the white savior trope. But like the two guys who wrote it, one's Asian, one's white. And yeah, they're all in about representation and blah 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 blah. So it's like they deserve to be called out for this. It's trash. And it's racist. Like that's the ironic thing. Like but they don't accept. Like it's actually being racist against white people. But you know they don't care about that.
Mo says they stole that dialogue from A Brush with the Chinese. Jasper says the fan baiting is getting old, so it's racist. Then says D. Man, it's just like.
Yeah, it is tiring, isn't it, Jasper?
It's exhausting.
I was like, you know, what I did a tweet and it was angry. I tweeted and I was actually, you know, I was like, this is messed up. These are real racists going around celebrating how not racist they are. And I was angry, and that's kind of why I deleted it, because I was like, when I cover this stuff, it has to be with a smile and a laugh. Like that one was just like, oh my god. So yeah, I let that one go through to the keeper in the end.
How do you feel about Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo, I mean, I've said this before. I chat about this with Camel. Like, I couldn't give two shits about this. I liked Scooby-Doo when I was 6. And then I stopped watching Scooby-Doo. Actually, I think the movies are actually pretty good. They were very self-referential and self-aware. Like they knew they were making a kids cartoon live action remake, and they made fun of that. But so I don't care about Scooby-Doo or Velma. The interesting thing about this whole thing is that this is their side trying to be progressive, and cartoons take a long time to make. So by the time you start it and script it and then get the thing done, the winds might have changed. And that's, I think, probably what happened, is that you never know. Like if you build your ideology on shifting sands, you never know what's going to offend people in a week's time. So they're getting destroyed from all sides. Like I think this is going to go down as probably the most hated cartoon ever from all sides. I mean, I don't think our side hates it. We like just laughing at it, but they actually hate it. The people who it was made for, because it was tone deaf to everyone and everything.
I mean, what have they done to Velma?
Oh, it's a self-insert. You saw the woman, yeah?
No, I haven't seen the woman.
Oh man!
Oh my god, really? No.
You've got to see it. It's it's the biggest self-insert you've ever seen.
Is this like I Am Starfire again?
I'm not Starfire.
I'm not Starfire, that chick. Yeah,
it's on the level. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let me find it. Where is it?
Number one lowest rated on IMDb. Can you imagine that, Mike? Like you make a comic and it is the worst rated comic in the history of all comics. That is amazing. It's the chick from The Office.
I guess. I don't know. I don't watch The Office.
Can
Yeah.
someone in chat confirm that? Because that is insane if that is true. I mean, how crazy is that? Wow. God damn.
So I don't know. Yeah.
She's even voicing the character. Oh my god, she's got a horrible.
Yeah, well, that's
voice.
the thing. Like they to play the character, you have to be the character. That's their new thing.
Oh my god.
Like, there's no like you can't voice a gay character unless you're gay. You can't, you can't play a black character unless you're black. That sort of thing. So
I'm pretty sure you've talked about this one. We were meant to talk about it last week, but we ran out of time. But this Bancroft, this guy.
oh yeah.
Please do not support the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy game. Friends, colleagues, cohorts, the whole lot of you, I'm asking you very sincerely, please do not stream it. Don't make YouTube videos about it. Don't buy it. And don't bloody pre-order it. The reason being is that you may not be aware that by supporting this title, you are essentially aligning yourself with some really heinous transphobic values. J.K. Rowling, aka Joanne, has made it extremely clear that they see the success of this title as being vindication of their transphobic views. That, by this title doing well, that means that they were correct. And honestly, you just have to look on the Steam forums to see the kind of people that are cheering for this game. Please don't be among them. If you weren't aware of all this, I'll do a longer video after this to explain a bit more of the nuances, but I just had to say, please don't support this game. Please.
So Mega Cuck there. First of all, what does he have against the name Joanne? Like, what's that about?
I don't know.
Joanne? Like, what is that? Who says that?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
That's her name.
Maybe he's against names.
Dead naming. Big Soy Energy. Yeah, this is like, I'm going to be making more Hogwarts Legacy shorts because merely because this is not going away. Like, everyone knows I'm a fan of Harry Potter anyway, but yeah, this story is not going away, and the game is just getting bigger and bigger. The most interesting part of this whole thing is they think it's like far right chuds going out there to buy it, to own these soy boys, and that I don't call them far right chuds. I call them probably based people, but based people are doing that. But I think more than anything, it just shows that they are actually in an extreme minority. And if any company just stands up and says, no, we're not listening to you, and just puts out their product and just ignores it, which I think they have. I don't think they've engaged in the discussion at all. They're just completely ignoring the controversy. The reality sets in that these people are probably less than, all the numbers point to about 7 or 8% of the population. That's like far left people like that are a minority, and that normal people just don't care about any of this stuff, and that things will succeed because you're in the majority and they're super popular. Like, Harry Potter is probably now the most profitable franchise in the world. I don't know of anything else that sort of rivals it anymore.
Pokemon.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, it's not Star Wars. It's not, the MCU seems to be going down the toilet. I doubt it'll be DC stuff. Lord of the Rings is on its way out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's the interesting part of it, is like these people don't have any power, and they think they do. And they think people care. They think the average person cares more about their trans rights than everything else, and they don't. They just don't, and they can't be made to.
I don't care about anything. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want to do, but keep your shit out of my face. I don't care what it is. I don't want to hear about it. Liminal says, never been a Potter fan, but I almost want to buy it on principle now. Dude, I was the same. I'm like, I'll fucking go buy that game. They tell me what to do. It's fucking bullshit. I don't like Harry Potter, though. I'm not like Mike. D says, people are getting sick of being told what to do with their money. I know, man. If Twitter wasn't and the like wasn't a thing, this wouldn't be an issue. But is that what we have to do, Mike? We should just go say, like when we're promoting our books, men are men, women are women. That's how we like it.
I don't think anyone cares. I think if we did that,
We
I
get
don't think
picked
it would
up
have
by
any
the
effect. We're too small. I think
Too
we're
small?
under the radar. Yeah.
Damn.
I'll say it now. Men are men and women are women. There was a great tweet the other day that I thought was really underrated and really puts a pin in this whole thing. And that's what is the one fundamental requirement to being a trans woman?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you cannot be a trans woman if you're not this, and it's biologically male. So I just thought that's a really funny way of putting it. And yeah, they're like no, nothing's going to happen to us from them. You and I are much more likely to have our campaigns amplified by the likes of anti-CG or God willing, someone in the mainstream finds out about us, like Heather Antos or
No, what's the other one? The one
Mark Wade or
the other one
Brooks.
that went Brooks, the one that went crazy
Brooks.
on Ethan's and whatever, or Well Reds, or wherever it was, and got in trouble. Mo says, tonight we witnessed the birth of Binary Croft. I love it. That's great.
Yeah. I just threw Merkel under the bus.
Steel Traditional Art, great question. Would you be down for a Drizzt to Arden movie franchise, and do you think it could be bigger than Lord of the Rings? Yes, hell, I would be down for that. Would be amazing, and I don't think it would be anywhere near what the Lord of the Rings is. Do you know
what that is?
Yeah,
I would never have pronounced it like that. I would have said Drizzt do Erden.
Yeah, he's from Baldur's Gate. So it's a D&D thing. So maybe there is some sort of play there that they could do to make
D&D is still massive. So yeah.
God, that movie is going to be shit though, don't you think? Like, that just looks like
there's a D&D movie?
Yeah, it's got Chris Pine in it, dude. It's going to be fucking terrible.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I'm right, yeah. It does have Chris Pine in it.
Chris Pine is good when he's playing Chris Pine. Like, if you need a movie where you've got a character that's Chris Pine, like, get Chris Pine. I enjoy him when he's Chris Pine.
It looks really good, does it? Starting the Icewind Dale books. Son just joined a D&D game. Nice. Yeah, okay. Can you find it, Bancroft, while I'm clicking?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a Dungeons and Dragons movie. It should be hard to find.
All right. Dungeons and Dragons nerd movie. I've got the nerdiest movies coming out.
I'm looking forward to Mario though. I think that's gonna be good.
Yeah, me too. Do you want me to play the trailer or something? Is that what you're wanting?
Do you guys want to watch the trailer? You let me know in chat, because I mean, I don't enjoy watching trailers.
Okay, well, let me just pull up some images. I'm not really seeing much. Doesn't look very what I know of Dungeons and Dragons.
Jay Lee says the new movie looks like the others, diversity first and then everything else.
This is if this is what Palm. I mean, this might just be a bad poster. Is that it there?
Yeah, that's it. That's Chris
I
Pine.
mean, that looks like every other.
It's going to be so bad, man. It's going to be so bad. Palm, I can't tell if you're serious. I can't tell if you're serious.
Mean, when I think Dungeons and Dragons,
trolling.
I'm thinking like 80s dark fantasy stuff. This looks like Aragon, the movie.
It looks like they're all going on a quest to discover what their gender is. That's what it looks like.
There's a TV show that Mel and I watched. I don't know if anyone else watched it. Bone and something, and it looks like this. And it has its place, whatever. I mean, it's very diverse, and it's all young people, and they're all good looking, and it looks like this. I don't think this is what I think this is what Dungeons and Dragons should look like.
I would rather go see that movie with the cocaine bear. That looks like it'll be fun.
Genuine Comics has it. Every fantasy IP looks the same now. They really I think June looked different.
Mo says bone and something. Are you sure it wasn't a porn?
Yeah, what's this? Is this old or is this what is this?
Yeah, I think that's an old one.
2000. This is more what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is a movie or I don't know. What is
okay.
this?
Jay Lee, I'm going to trust you here, and I'm going to tell Bancroft to do it. Bancroft, can you please find the Dungeons and Dragons car commercial? This is a one shot, man. If it sucks, not listening to you again. What do you guys think of the Warcraft movie? I mean, that was okay. It wasn't great.
Is there a Warcraft movie?
Yeah, man.
What what is this? So I'm playing this?
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Well, I'll have to put it into I'll have to put it into Chrome. One sec. All right.
Was fun enough.
It's from Brazil, so it's probably based.
Oh my god.
Chrome tab, Dungeons and Dragons. Here we go. Do we need to pause it for copyright? I mean, it looks like a commercial.
What do you think so far? We can pause it for a sec.
What's that?
What do you think so far?
It looks like a commercial, but at least it looks different. Like it doesn't look like all the other IPs. Like that's what David was referring to.
I would be kind of down, Bancroft, to see D&D, but you know how Crackhead was showing the 80s AI stuff?
Yes, yeah, like that.
That would be kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Not sure that's a good.
Hora de voltar pra casa, crianças.
Why did she put the cloak on when she was in the car?
Hold on. What's that?
Why did she put the cloak on when she was in the car? The invisibility cloak. You didn't see that? All right.
I did see that. Just watch the ad, Rob. There's Mount Doom. you not know he could do that?
Deixe o impossível para trás.
You know, it would be great if the dragon thing followed them through the portal and they were just responsible for millions of people dying to that dragon. That would be a great commercial. No?
Get help, Rob.
Novo Renault Kwid Outsider, o SUV dos compactos.
Oh, hang on.
Ooh, look at that. That wasn't bad.
For the next exciting installment of this TV commercial.
What do you think?
Yeah, it was as far as TV commercials go. I mean, I suppose it was all right. I don't really watch TV anymore, so all commercials annoy me. Unless they're VB ads, then I like them.
Mo says the commercial is basically an ending to the 80s D&D cartoon that was cancelled without an ending.
Oh,
Okay,
that's cool. I like that. No, that's a cool idea.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Whatever ad that. So the problem with those ads is I didn't even look at the car. I didn't even know what it was for.
It was a Renault.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. It was a white car. I wasn't really paying that much attention to the.
So you noticed the
deets.
color of the car.
Yeah, I don't think Renault is the only company that makes white cars though.
But you noticed that the car was white. Is my point.
Yeah. Renaults are good cars.
Would you have noticed the car if it was black, Bancroft?
It wouldn't have worked as well, like color wise.
Yeah, it would have faded into the background.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can't really see the details as much in that color setting. You know.
Oh, quickly the wheel, dude. We haven't even talked about the wheel. We'll just say that quickly, and then we'll wrap it up.
We were trying to get up to 400, and we didn't even mention it.
Go sign up for this if you haven't. A great wheel giveaway. 17 different creators, 17 pieces of art. We're gonna draw it in mid-Feb. We haven't worked the exact day out, but yeah, I mean that's a really good chance of winning some original art. You got Kelsey, Reenie, Bancroft, myself, Joe, Mandy, and the list goes on and on, up to 17, obviously. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Bancroft, on that?
We're up to 368, which is a mere 32 away from 400 signups, which I think is a very good effort. We'll be jumping out. I think this is really going to heat up to when we get close.
Yeah.
And then once we start giving stuff away and people are like, what? This is the most fun I've ever had in Comicsgate. Ever.
I know, right?
They're going to want to get involved. So, yeah.
So, I mean, it's either going to go tremendously well.
Get in now, because then I'll have more. Like, you'll be able to say, like, if your number, we call out, okay, so this winner is winner number 369. You're going to say, yeah, I was in there early. And there's like red. So everyone will see your name and they'll know that you're cool.
All right, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. You got anything else, Bancroft, or done? Do you want to look at your campaign quick?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you sick of it?
Have it there.
I do. 205 backers.
The only thing I have left to order are the magnets, which I will be finalizing the artwork on this week. I'll be sending that order off. So the hope is that come mid-Feb, maybe even earlier than that, maybe like the 10th of Feb, I'll have everything that I need, and then we'll be able to send this out and get it all fulfilled, which is pretty exciting. And then I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, well, I'll probably keep that bar there that says how much is raised and the backers and stuff. But this will just sort of become more of a store, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to go live. I'm going to go live with the lucentcomic.com. And then the next campaign will be painteddeath.com. So I think you'll be able to we'll be able to switch this over to the Lucent comic. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how figure out how it goes. Yeah, like I think I'm gonna make it so you don't get any of the prints or anything unless you're back during the campaign period, which is I'll do like a closing out stream on Sunday, I think it is. But yeah, I'll be on Narwhal's show tomorrow.
Oh, cool. That's good, man.
4
Branched
p.m.
out, man.
Pacific. And yeah.
And just quickly, this is from Jay in the chat. The Steins, go sign up for this. This is one of his covers, and I've got another one here too. Bam. Here you go. So can someone in the chat probably has a link, chuck it in there for us? That'll be appreciated. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it there. Have a good one. We had like 70, 75 people in here, Bancroft, which is great considering people are streaming against us. How dare they?
You can say it now that we're ending. It's Rainy.
Rainy.
Go watch Rainy.
Go watch Rainy. Chuck the link in for Rainy too if she's still going. That would be awesome. All right, guys, catch you all later. I'll play us out with... I'll give you one of these because it was good to let it go.
That's right. Now, say my name.
And here we have Duff Light, and our newest flavor, Duff Dry. What does the future hold for Duff? Let's just say we've got a few ideas up our sleeve.
Like what?
I'd rather not get into it right now.
Why not?
All right. We don't have any ideas for the future. We got